Hello everyone, it's SK95, welcome to my new Let's Play, a game I was hoping to play for a while, and a game that we can finally start the series on a high note. This is the remake of the original blue version back on the Game Boy Advance. Rather, for the Game Boy Advance, from the Game Boy. This is Pokemon Leafgreen. I would have put Fire Red, but we have Leafgreen instead. But besides that, let's get started on this epic adventure, starting on with our Pokemon adventures. First one to explain, this is basically the button controls. I'm gonna cut this out. In the world which you're about to enter, you will embark on a grand adventure with you as the hero. Speak to people and check things wherever you go, be it towns, roads, or caves. Gather information and hints from every source. New paths will open up to you by helping people in need, overcoming challenges, and solving mysteries. At times, you'll be challenged by others and attacked by wild creatures. Be brave and keep pushing on through your adventures. Through your adventure, we hope that you will interact with all sorts of people and achieve personal growth. That is our biggest objective. Press A and let your adventure begin. Hello there, glad to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Oak. People affectionately refer to me as the Pokemon Professor. This world is inhabited far and wide by creatures called Pokemon. For some people, Pokemon are pets. Others use them for battle. As for myself, I study Pokemon as a profession. But first, tell me a little about yourself. Now tell me, are you a boy or a girl? Yep, I'm a boy. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to distinction. I'm not going to change the female character protagonist. As much as Leaf is an interesting design perspective for a female protagonist, I prefer using the main character. What's the name of your name? What is it? The official name for this character is technically Red, but I actually am going to be using my real name for this Let's Play because that way I can be a little bit more comfortable by speaking my real name out in public rather than using a fake name. My real name is Nicholas, but my nickname is Nick. So let's actually start. Right, so your name is Nick. Yes, it is. This is my grandson. He's been your rival since you both were babies. What was his name now? By the way, the names of Red, Ash, Kangeki have a different pronunciation, but Red and Ash is because it's the remake of the original Blue version. It's a result of that name. If it was Fire Red, it'd be Blue and then Gary. That's typically what the big change is. For now, but I'm going to put the name that I want to personally pick for his rival name. So the name I'm picking is basically someone back in my younger years where we didn't really get along, but later on down the line, we finally managed to solve our differences. So name, Jacob. Was it Jacob? Yes. That's right, I remember now. His name is Jacob. The fact that he couldn't remember his own grandson's name is even more disappointing. Nick, your very own Pokemon legend is about to unfold. A world of dreams and adventures with Pokemon awaits. Let's go. Alright, to start our epic adventure off, we're in our room with the NES. Nick played with the NES. Okay, it's time to go. Yep. So, typically speaking, Pokemon series standpoint, you want to first check the PC no matter what in the beginning of this adventure, because guess what? Doing it the PC allows you to check the item storage and mailbox. Use the item storage to withdraw a free potion. And the mailbox really isn't serving much purposes. In fact, you're probably never going to use it in this game because, frankly, it doesn't do anything. Besides that, though, let's actually go to the trainership sign and see that it's a post-it notice. You're confused as for help. Press the L or R buttons. Basically, L and R allows you to open the help screen whenever you need it. Just in case you need information about the game, how Pokemon works, wireless adapter. I will explain that when we get into that, but right now, though, we're not going to worry about it too much. So, this is our mother. Mom, right, all boys leave home someday. It said so on TV. Oh yes, Professor Oak next door was looking for you. If you hold A, by the way, you can make the text speed increase, but whatever. There's a movie on TV. 4 boys are walking on railroad tracks. I'd better go too. Yep, so let's go and leave this house. Now, typically speaking, I like to press the start button and use options. You can change your text speed to fast, which is what I typically use for an LP, so yeah, very good. So now let's actually continue on and check out Pallet Town, the home of our first adventure. Pallet Town, shades of your journey await. So, there's a person on the sign. Is that right? Oh, look! Trainer tips. Press start to open the menu. Signs are useful, aren't they? Yep, trainer tips are typically something you want to keep track of if you want to learn the game early on. Technology is incredible. You can now store and recall items in Pokemon as data via PC. Modern games, you can use store items in phones. Let's go check the lab and see if Professor Oak's here. And he is not here, but Jacob is. Wait, what? It's only Nick. Gramps isn't around. I want the free Pokemon, dang it. Those are Pokeballs. They contain Pokemon. I couldn't resist. So, let's actually go try to leave town because we're kind of stuck without Professor Oak, and we might as well just try to leave. We might make the dumb mistake of going to grass. Hey, wait! Don't go out! Then where were you? It's unsafe. All Pokemon live in tall grass. You need your own Pokemon for your protection. I know. Here, come with me. Okay. Alright. Gramps, I'm fed up with waiting. Jacob, let me think. Oh, that's right. I told you to come. Just wait. Here, Nick. There are the Pokemon here. Haha! The Pokemon are held inside these Pokeballs. When I was young, I was a serious trainer. But now, in my old age, I have only these 3 left. You can have one. Go on, choose. Hey, Gramps, no fair. What about me? Be patient, Jacob. You can have one, too. So there's 3 Pokemon on this counter. Let's talk about each one of them, starting off with a bio with Bulbasaur, a grass poison type. The first time you ever see a dual typing starter. Now, Bulbasaur is a Pokemon that's very easy to utilize, and it's actually a great Pokemon choice if you want to have an easy adventure, because frankly, Bulbasaur will not have too many problems in your adventure if you have to pick it. It's also a great Pokemon that can easily catch other Pokemon with status conditions that it learns. Grass types are known for this. The poison typing, though, will not serve much purposes. Poison typing really is only good for it if it needs to defend against poison type attacks. There are poison types that are pure poison in this game, and frankly, the grass type benefits from it because guess what? Grass is weak to poison. And sadly speaking, there are many grass poison types in this game, so I wouldn't say it's outright necessary, but I will say it's a good choice if you want to have an easy adventure. It evolves, like, quickly to level 36, the maximum, but its final evolution stats have the same attack, special attack, its main special defense as any Pokemon. And next is Charmander, a fire type. Fire type Pokemon typically are either fast and do a lot of damage. Downside is, though, they're kind of frail. Well, rather not frail, just not very bulky. Charmander is actually known for a variety of things, especially given the fact they can learn Dragon type moves. It can also run the only Pokemon in this game that has a moveset change from this game only in this generation of Gen 3. It learns Metal Claw level 13 rather than Smokescreen. Metal Claw is a steel type move at 55 power, 95 accuracy, and it has a chance of increasing its attack stats. Really useful to have if you want to have a Pokemon that can deal with rock types. Charmander is also the faster of the 3 Pokemon. However, I'll say outright if you're going to have a hard time in the beginning because Charmander is going to struggle against the first main bosses of the game. So if you want to pick Charmander up, it's a great choice if you want to have a tough time in the game. Last but not least is Squirtle. If you want to have a more balanced run, Squirtle is your choice. It is not the fastest in the world. It's actually one of the slowest of the 3. However, Squirtle does come with its own benefits, such as the fact that it's a bulky water type. Water types are known for the main draw of bulk, and Squirtle exemplifies this. The only downside is the fact that Squirtle learns the worst water type level up moves in the beginning, so you're not going to exactly do much damage outright in the very beginning of the game, because Squirtle unfortunately downsides with this. It also is one of the few Pokemon that has a harder time catching Pokemon because it's a pure water type, and there's plenty of other water types in this game. So I'd recommend outright if you want to pick one up, be my guest, but you're just going to have to pick different options for different type Pokemon. So what am I picking for my starter Pokemon? I'm picking Charmander for my starter Pokemon. Charmander is your choice. You should raise it patiently. So Nick, you're coming to Pokemon Charmander? Yes, indeed. This Pokemon is really quite energetic. Nick received Charmander from Professor Oak. So Charmander is my choice. Here's a nickname for it. I would like to name it after a character in Arthurian legend. It's based around what King Arthur is known for, the Red Dragon, Drag. There's a reason I'm calling it that, because despite the fact that it's a lizard Pokemon, it evolves into something later in the future. I'll take this one then. It received Squirtle from Professor Oak. In this generation, until I believe it was, I would say Gen 4, your rival always picked the Pokemon that your Pokemon's weak to. Let's check its nature, because Charmander's Drag's nature is going to be quite important. Relax nature. Let's see what that nature does. Relax does this. Ah, dang it. Well, that sucks for me. Plus defense minus speed. I can never win today. Plus defense nature for a Charmander is actually not that good because it only really helps it against bulking up against certain attacks such as the ground types and the rock types. Which means it's still going to take damage from water types very often, so it kind of sucks nature-wise. But I will have to, well, switch gears and try to leave. Wait, Nick, let's check out our Pokemon. Come on, I'll take you on. Introduction of Pokemon Battling. Pokemon battles are very important in this game, and Rival Jacob would like to battle. Our Jacob sent out Squirtle. Squirtle comes with the moves Tackle and Tail Whip, while Drag comes with the moves Scratch and Growl. Oh, for Pete's sakes. So pushy as always. Nick, you've never had a Pokemon battle before, have you? Pokemon battles when trainers pit their Pokemon against each other. Trainer that makes the other Pokemon trainers faint by lowering their HP to 0 wins. But rather than talking about it, you'll learn from experience. Try battling and see for yourself. So, Charmander, Scratch, Growl. So I might as well talk about how stats work while we're battling up this Squirtle outright. Inflicting damage on the foe is the key to any battle. Yeah, we got it. So, technically speaking, HP is how much HP you have before you go in battle. If you run out of HP for Pokemon, your Pokemon faints and you cannot use them anymore. If you run out of Pokemon, you essentially white out and essentially lose your ability to fight. Well, Charmander is going to be a little bit bulky. I'm going to be spamming Scratch. Unless this Squirrel gets lucky, I'm going to be fine just hitting it around with Scratch. There we go. A little too close for comfort, but we're fine. 70 experience points. Attack is how much a physical attack your attack stat does. And it has a relationship with defense. If your attack stat's higher than your opponent's defense, you do more damage based on your damage output. However, the opposite is also true. If your defense stat to the opponent is too high, you do less damage. Special attack and special defense is the same principle for special only. And speed, whoever goes first in a battle. That's simply how RPGs work. And unfortunately, since my Charmander's relaxed nature, I'm not going to get much speed in the battle. What? Unbelievable. I picked the wrong Pokemon. $8 for winning. Excellent. If you win, you earn prize money and your Pokemon will grow. Battle other trainers and make your Pokemon strong. Indeed. Okay, I'll make my Pokemon battle to toughen it up. Nick Gramps, smell you later. Yeah, he does that joke. Smell you later. You can never get this Pokemon. It's stuck in this thing forever. Nick, raise your young Pokemon to making it battle. It has to battle to grow. Yep. By the way, in case you're wondering if it needs to be healed, it does not. It actually is fully healed when you end the battle entirely. First battle gets you a free healing. The freaking do. So, let's go over to the first route of Route 1. Now, I'm going to talk about this on right. I'm not going to talk about the Pokemon on this route because we can't catch some yet. Pokemon's based on catching. Hi, I work at the Pokemon Mart. It's part of a convenient chain selling all sorts of items. Please visit us in Viridian City. I know, I'll give you a sample. Here you go. Marketing and promotioning. Potion in item pockets. Potion's really useful. It heals 20 HP of your Pokemon. So, yeah, pretty good, especially if Charmander only have 21 HP. And we run into a Pidgey. Whoop-de-doo. So, I'm going to just keep scratching a Pidgey because, unfortunately, Charmander is not going to exactly do much damage yet until it gets its first level up move, being at level 7. And sadly speaking, oh wow, the 5% rate of missing. Sadly speaking, I can't exactly do much. By the way, Scratch is a better move than Tackle because it's also better damage-wise, and it has 100% accuracy. Meanwhile, with Squirtle and Bulbasaur, they both have Tackle. Scratch has a 40 power at 100% accuracy, Tackle is 35 power, 95% accurate. So if it's not 100% accurate, therefore it's 50% accurate. See those ledges along the road? It's a bit scary, but you can jump from them. You can get back to Pallet Town quicker that way. I recommend it because it's easier to get through routes if you do that. And a Rattata. This actually can be a little bit more annoying because Rattata can be a bit annoying given the fact of type attack bonus. By the way, this is Gen 3, so I'm going to have to talk about that as well. Gen 3, Pokemon Physical and Special Split had not happened yet, so as a result of that, you basically going to do damage based on type rather than contact. So, a move like Scratch will always be considered a normal type attack and does physical damage. For example, let's say if I had a move like Hyper Beam, for example, that would also be considered a physical attack in this game. So, yeah, you're going to get an idea of how to deal with it. I'll show on screen which Pokemon and what typing will be considered physical or special. Technically speaking, Charmander does benefit the most, given the fact that its high special attack is good. But besides that, there's really not much to talk about when this comes to battling. I do recommend outright that you do battle early on because you're going to need the free experience points for certain battles coming up. And frankly, They can be very annoying if you don't do it. But, by the way, they're going to find a lot of early route Pokemon. They're not exactly going to be that tough, so we're good. Viridian City, home of the 8th gym, but we can't do anything with it. This is a Pokemon Center. Pokemon Centers, as the name implies, restore your Pokemon to full HP and heal you all the way up. This is really good in case you need healing immediately. So, yeah, thank you for waiting. Restore Pokemon to full health? Yep, indeed. The nurse gave us a full healed Pokemon. Now, we're going to explain outright. I'd recommend talking to this guy first as well. You want to know about those 2 types of Caterpillar Pokemon? Yes. Caterpie has no poison, but Weedle does. Watch out your Pokemon aren't stabbed by Weedle's poison sting. Poison status, obnoxious. You essentially take 1/16 of your HP. But first, before we talk about that, let's go look at the blackboard here at Trainer School, because guess what? This is you of all the stats conditions in Pokemon, except for one. Sleep. If you're asleep, you can't do any damage and you're stuck for a turn. You have a chance of waking up every turn, but it's still going to be random. Poison is 1/16 of your HP every turn at the end of it. Therefore, you will always lose HP. It also has a field effect where you'll lose HP each time you walk too many steps. And you gotta cure it by either going to a Pokemon Center or going back to getting an antidote. Paralysis cuts your speed stat in half, and you have a chance of not making a hit. Basically, you're basically stuck for a turn. Burn cuts your physical attack stat in complete half, and you take the same damage as poison, except nothing else. Frozen status, if this was Gen 1, is busted. Not Gen 1, though, you have the chance of breaking out of thawing out. Gen 1 Frozen status sucked for everyone who did that, because guess what? You got permanently stuck unless you got hit by a fire move. So, yeah, that's just basically how status conditions work in Pokemon. Another thing to keep in mind is that the early game, you're going to want to grind up heavy levels because you're going to need to. Because trust me on this, it sucks. Hey, you came from Pallet Town. I did. You know Professor Oak, right? His order came in. Can I get you to take it to him? Nick received Oak's parcel from the Pokemon Mart clerk. Nick put the Oak's parcel in the key out of his pocket. Okay. We'll be back to the Mark later. We can't exactly do anything about buying anything yet. We gotta wait. By the way, if you try to go upward in town, this happens. I absolutely forbid you from going through here. This is private property. Oh, Grandpa, don't be so mean. I'm so sorry. He hasn't had his coffee yet. Rude. But also, coffee. Quite important. Now, I'm going to talk about something like nicknaming. Coming up with nicknaming things is fun, but it's not so easy to do. Clever names are nice, but simple names are easy to remember. He's not kidding. Spearow Speary. So, I will say outright, I will be trying to nickname Pokemon to a decent degree. I'm just not very good at it, personally, because I'm bad at it. This one goes at your wrist. Please, you have Pokemon, don't you? Great that you can carry and use Pokemon anytime, anywhere. So, yeah, let's deliver Oak's parcel back to Professor Oak, and we'll be good. Oh, trainer ship sign. Round moves of Pokemon are limited by their power points, PP. Your plans to be rest your entire Pokemon at the Pokemon Center. There's items for it as well, but we're not going to get into that for a while. Let's go down Route 1 and use the ledge trick in order to get down there faster. A big thing you keep in mind on is the fact that if you run out of PP, you essentially can't use Move anymore. Run out of PP for all your moves, guess what? Struggle activates. 30 power, 100% accurate move that does recoil damage. It sucks. I would recommend making sure your Pokemon's PP is maxed out. And no, not that kind of PP. So let's go back to Professor Oak and give him this parcel. Oh, Nick, how's my old Pokemon? Well, it seems to be growing more attached to you. You must be talented as a Pokemon trainer. What's that? You have something for me? Yes, I do. Here's a parcel. Ah, it's the custom Pokeball. I had it on order. Thank you. Gramps! I almost forgot. What did you call me for? Oh, right. I have a request for you two. On the desk is my invention, the Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. The high-tech encyclopedia. Nick and Jacob, take these with you. Nick received the Pokédex from Professor Oak. You can't get the detailed data on Pokemon just by seeing them. You must catch them to obtain complete data. So here are some tools for catching wild Pokemon. 5 Pokeballs. Not as forgiving as the later games, are you right? When a wild Pokemon appears, it's fair game. Just throw a Pokeball at it and try to catch it. It won't always work, however. The Pokemon can escape. You have to be lucky. Make a complete guide on all the Pokemon in the world. That was my dream. But I'm too old. I can't get the job done. So I want you to fulfill my dream for me. Okay, moving you two. This is a great undertaking in the Pokemon history. Alright, games, leave it all to me. Nick, I hate to say it, but you won't be necessary for this. I know, I'll borrow a town map from my sis. I'll tell her not to lend you one, Nick. Don't bother coming around to my place after this. I will proceed to ignore his suggestion and in fact get the map from his sister because that's clearly what you're supposed to do. And I frankly will be honest, you better do this, otherwise you don't have a map. Because you can get lost in these routes. I'm gonna ask you to run an errand? Gee, that's lazy of him. Here, this will help you. Ever seen the town map from Daisy? There we go. Very good. So anyway, let's actually continue on and go to the first route and talk about the Pokemon on the route finally. Pidgey is an early game flying type. Now, be blunt, there's better normal flying types out there than Pidgey. Trust me on that one, there's better ones. Pidgey is probably one that evolves in a 3-stage evolution similar to your starter. The big downside of that is the fact that it's another 3-stage Pokemon evolution. It's going to take a while before it reaches its max. And because of that, it's not going to be exactly useful. It does evolve early for the first evolution, but it's not exactly going to do ring awards. It's also not that good in terms of stats and usability. There's a better Pokemon out there that's better than it. But besides that, though, it's really not that bad Pokemon if you really want to do it. I don't understand the hate for it, but I will say that it's not exactly a good choice if you want to pick one. Also critical. I love critical hits. Level 8. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Another thing to keep in mind is another Pokemon on this route, Rattata. It evolves early at level 20, however, it does evolve and eradicate quickly. It also gains certain moves that does not have access to other Pokemon, such as the move Super Fang. It does 1/2 of your HP, no matter what. This means it does 1/2 of your current HP. If it does it, it essentially will cut your HP in half, no matter what. There's a good strategy around it, but at the same time, you can't do anything with it. I'll say outright, though, that Rattata will be good early on if you want a normal type that actually does a lot of damage, given the fact that normal type moves are early on. The downside is Rattata, unfortunately, suffers from one big downside. When it gets later in the game, it essentially gets literally screwed because there are better normal types after that point, and besides that, Rattata gets outclassed outright. I got double burn. Alright. So besides that, really, if you want a Rattata, be my guest. But besides that, I won't really worry about it too much. So let's just go and leave this route and actually start getting up. Besides that, we're pretty much good in the way we have, so let's go and heal the Pokemon Center. I want to level up a little bit so we actually can be ready for our adventure because, frankly, there's a battle coming up later on, and it does indeed suck. We're going to follow up. Hope we see you again. Alright, good. Now, normally, I would not go to the next route yet, but I would now certify that you want to. But first, let's go to the Pokemon Mart. In order to buy some items. So let's first go and buy some items. We can buy Pokeballs. I'm going to buy another 5 just so we have more. And we also want to buy some antidotes for later. Crossing on this, we want to buy at least 3 of them for now, at least. Paralysis healing, I would recommend buying some as well, just in case. And potion, you already have a free potion, and technically already had another one, so let's buy 3 potions. I have $200 left. I can actually buy 1 more Pokeball if I want to, so why not? I usually do that in order to burn through the money. I really don't have much problems. I got bit to buy some potions. You never know when your Pokemon will need a quick healing. And this girl says the shop does goodness and antidotes, I hear. I heard, here, heart, he, she, Wumbo wing. I wonder if a fall from the site would be enough to kill me. Never mind. Couldn't resist that joke. So, before we head upwards, let's go actually check out that old man and see if he has anything to say now. He's up and about. Well, now I've had my coffee, and that's what I need to get going. What's that red box you have? Ah, you're working on your Pokedex. Then let me give you a word of advice. Whenever you catch a Pokemon, the Pokedex automatically updates its data. You don't know how to catch a Pokemon. I suppose I better show you how then. Adley is showing you to catch a Pokemon on a Pokemon that has a 255 catch rate, a wild Weedle. What will the old man do? No name, just called Old Man. I know, it's hilarious, don't you think? So, yeah, the Weedle has a big catch rate. It's not exactly hard to catch. You can technically do that anyway, and it won't have any problems. Technically speaking, you're not supposed to do that, though. Instead, you're supposed to lower its HP down the red. You're forced to do this no matter what in this beginning of Fire Red and Leaf Green. It does not matter. There, now tell me, was that educational, wasn't it? And here, take this too. TGTV, whatever. Something you don't understand, watch that. I'll teach you about the basics of being a Pokemon trainer. Yeah. You can go in your key items using the bag. Go to the Teacher TV, and you can look at it at any point. You can basically see anything you want to see, and it teaches you how to do that. You can actually press B to cancel out, and it doesn't really matter. I'll say outright, though, I wouldn't recommend using TV in order to look up information, because, technically speaking, you don't really need to worry about it too much. Especially in a Pokemon game. Potion. Very good. And good for healing. Now, normally, I would just send this off, because I think I can get away with doing this, though. Let's actually just go and start our journey off. Route 22 has 2 new Pokemon, Spearow and Mankey. Let's start with Spearow first. It is a normal flying type that's better than Pidgey in my opinion, and it also hits harder. Another thing about Spearow is the fact that it levels up and evolves quickly. It also has a great attack and speed stat, so it really does exemplify a very good Pokemon. Though I will say outright, it will not struggle later on, but it will have Trudge. Stupid Rattata. And of course, I got distracted by the critical hit that Rattata did to me. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna heal after that. But regardless of that, though, I will say outright that if you want a Pokemon like Spearow, be my guest. But I'm not gonna be picking it up myself personally. I'll be back after I heal. Alright, fully healed and we're back. It took a little bit of time to actually get back. There's the last Pokemon, Mankey. It evolves decently before level 30, and it also is a pure fighting type. Normally, fighting types are really quick, slow, and a high attack power. Mankey, on the other hand, Mankey is a high-speed physical attacker. Really good to have if you want a Pokemon that actually does a lot of physical attack damage and also does a lot of, well, good moves like fighting type moves. Fighting type moves are the only weakness of the normal type, so I'd recommend picking it up if you want a normal type weakness. It also is the only fighting type that has no third stage evolution, sadly, so I will warn you outright, no Annihilate, so don't worry about it. Besides that, though, Mankey is a good Pokemon. However, it looks like I'm going to be running in level 2s and level 3s when I'm trying to learn into a level 5. I'll be back until I find a level 5. Level 3. The reason I'm wanting the level 5 is simple. It learns a fighting type move at level 6, so I'm going to need to do that anyway. So it's easier, just not heavy grind again. Finally found one. Took a while. So it will definitely survive this Emperor at least. Scratch to lower its HP a little bit more. Alright, perfect. Red health. Hey! I hate when you get criticals. Let's throw a Pokeball at it right now before we run out of HP, because that's a little worrying. 1, 2, 3! Click! And this is my next team member, Mankey, a pure fighting type. Mankey's data was at Pokedex, yep. Extremely quick to anger. It could be docile one moment, then thrashing away the next instant. The pig Pokemon. Mankey nickname. I have a name for this one, especially for a male. It's just named after a cartoon I watched back as a young lad. Yes, I'm calling it George, named after George the dog. Kidding, couldn't resist. So let's go heal up the George up because we're gonna need this. And we're back. It took a while for me to get that done, but besides that, we're good. So let's check out our Pokemon up a little bit. I'm going to need to be careful because George will have a little... Let's check this dang set nature. Brave nature. That would be... Plus attack minus speed. Not that bad of a nature on a Mankey. It just means that Mankey's going to do more damage. That's good, at least. Technically speaking, the best nature is a plus speed nature or plus attack nature no matter what. I just got the middle of the road, unfortunately. There is a battle coming up, and I'd warn you right now, it's optional, so you don't have to do it, but I am going to do it for anyway for level ups. Hello, Jacob. Hey, Nick. You're off to the Pokemon League. Forget about it. You probably don't have any badges, do you? The guard won't let you through without them. By the way, did your Pokemon get any stronger? Yes, they did. I got a new team member as well. Our rival would like to battle. He would send out Pidgey. Pidgey is a normal flying type. Keen Eye for the ability. The moves, Tackle, Stand Attack, and Gust. He uses that Gust very lowly, at least. But at the same time, Pidgey is very annoying. So, Burn. I'm getting lucky with the Burn status on Pidgeys. I don't know why. Burn cuts the attack stat in half, so Pidgey's going to actually suffer a lot more. Unless it gets a dumb lucky critical again. Which I wouldn't be surprised, because the game likes doing this to me. But at the same time, whatever. Scratch again, and it goes down very quickly. So his last Pokemon, no matter what, will always be that dang Squirtle for if you pick Charmander. They come with the same moveset of all starters have when they're in the very beginning. So yeah, don't really expect it to have a different moveset. Squirtle will come to the moves Tackle and Tail Whip, so do not worry about certain moves. You can use Ember if you want to. It does more damage, but really, you're better off just using Scratch at this point because you can't do super effective damage right now. At this point, you're really not going to be able to do super effective damage, and it seems like the Squirtle has a nature that's plus physical. I want to test... Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Although, it would be funny if I got a burn off that Squirtle, because that'd be hilarious. Alright, it's lowered my defense by 2 stages. I don't want to deal with that. No way. Well, I'm going to lower your attack stat by 1. You're just going to spam Tail Whip until my defense is minimal. Come on. Not fair. I'll just lower your attack stat so you don't do as much damage. Ow. Alright, that's it. Now you're back 3 stages down. I'm not dealing with this. Okay, good. Now I can actually do damage to you normal. Ow. I think I'm not going to do enough damage until I get a crit, which is actually kind of worrying. Actually, I think I might be able to knock out the Squirtle before it knocks me out, which is actually kind of worrying. There we go. Knocked out the Squirtle at least. 126 experience points for leveling, and that's good. Rival Jacobs was defeated. Oh, you just lucked out. 144 for winning. Here, the Pokemon League is crawling with tough trainers. I had to figure out how to get past them. You should quit dawdling and gotta move on. Yeah, the rival can be a pain in the neck. And frankly honest, you cannot do anything with this area yet, so do not bother. I just realized I probably don't want to have Drag go into a reckless battle right now because he is close to fainting, and I really don't want that. So you can actually just check out the Pokemon League right now if you want to, but you can't go any further. Watch. Hello, I'd like to enter. Only truly skilled trainers are allowed through. You don't have the Boulder Badge yet. Rules are rules, I can't let you pass. Thank you. You gotta get all the gym badges in order to win the game. Essentially the main draw of Pokemon. One Lake Front Gate. So, yeah, let's go and head back to the Pokemon Center and heal up. Alright, we're fully healed after the Pokemon Center, and we're good. You ready to your Pokemon full of? All good. So I think we're going to end this off right here. Next time on Pokemon Leafgreen, we'll be heading north to see what lies beyond Viridian City, and hopefully be able to see what we do next. See you all next time.